Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and Fog of War today. I haven't done a fog puzzle for a while. Haven't had a quick puzzle for a while. I was hoping for one of those, but who knows. Counting Foggy Whispers by Eric Barder, and looking forward to giving this a go. Welcome, Eric. Now, first of all, we were streaming recently at the Blueprints house. Do check the VODs, the video on demands for those, under the live section perhaps of our YouTube channel. Good fun. Very interesting sort of interactions throughout the Blueprints house, which changes every time you visit it. Good fun, Simon and me pretending to be gamers occasionally. Now, you can pretend to be an expert Sudoku solver if you download or go into our Patreon and have a go at the Extra Byte Hunt by Sudoku by Skunkworks. 5x5 puzzles, almost all, Latin squares, meaning the numbers 1 to 5 appear in every row, column, and that's all. But not all of them. One or two are different, and they're just really a fascinating collection. Just eclectic and amusing. And also on Patreon, talking about eclectic and amusing, watch Simon solve Spider by Sabre or Listen by Eck, and there's other stuff there too, connections videos amongst them. And in the links under our video, as well as Patreon, we've got SVEN'S Sudoku Pad. We've got all of our apps, and not only do they feature Line Sudoku and Killer Sudoku, but also Fog of War Sudoku. So if you like this style of puzzle, there's lots more. And very, very good value, just like the Worms by perhaps Michael Lefkowitz or Phistomefel or others who may take your fancy. Do try the Worms, they are good fun too, and very recent. So let's have a look at the rules of Counting Foggy Whispers by Eric Barder. Normal, maybe beta, I don't know. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Digits within a cage must total to the sum shown in the corner. So that one will add up to 15. Along adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. And we have dynamic fog. So placing a correct digit may clear fog in other areas of the puzzle at the setter's discretion. Do give it a try on the first link under the video. You can play it there. I'm going to play it here. Let's get cracking. Right, I tell you some things about green lines. That's where I'm going to start. One of the things is that 5 can never appear on a green line. So where is 5 in the central row? One of those cells, because every other cell has some green in it. One of those might have green in it, but both won't. Okay, the next thing I tell you about green lines is that they alternate between high digits and low digits. Higher than 5 and lower than 5 to maintain this difference. And also I tell you that 4 and 6 can be difficult to place. They can never go in a position where the two neighbours see each other. And there are some such positions here. I think all of these can't be 4 or 6. Now, that may not be all that exciting at the moment, but it is nonetheless true. Some of them have neighbours that see each other in a row, some of them have neighbours that see each other in a column, and some of them have neighbours that see each other in a box. Right, it's the totals of these, isn't it? 15, I think we've seen this before, 15 with a green line through it is quite restricted, and I remember this now. I sort of remember this now. If you were to put an 8 in the middle, the digits that were, it's all about the middle cells here, these yellow cells. If you were to put an 8 in the middle, the digits touching it couldn't include 4. They would maximize at 3 and 2. And that's a total of 13, and you can't get to the 15 total. And 7 will be even worse. 6, utterly impossible in that position. So if this is a high digit, it's a 9. And I think this works in exactly the opposite way if it's low. If it was a 2, yeah, you couldn't put 6 and 7 there. So if it was a 2, these would be at least 7 and 8 and would bust the score. It would be too high. So I think these yellow cells are a 1-9 pair. And the 9, whichever side it appears, goes with digits that add up to 6. Can't include the 5, so it's 2 and 4. And the 1 goes with digits that add up to 14. You can't include the 5, so it's 6 and 8. So these 4 digits are the even digits in the row. And that's a set. That's so strange. And that means that these in the centre are 3, 5 and 7. And this one is interesting. This is 3 or 7. If it's 3, these 2 digits it touches have to be 8 and 9. If it's 7, they have to be 1 and 2. And I am finally going to colour. Okay, I'm going to colour this line first of all. Not that one. This one with yellow and red for high and low. I don't know which is which yet. But I do know this is the other colour from the 1-9 in yellow. So that's red. Then we can alternate on this one. And now we know that we've got 2 high digits in this cage. No, 2 high or 2 low. We don't know whether that's high, but 2 reds. I think for a 20-sum, that's going to have to be yellow. If these were 3 high, at a minimum they would be 6, 7, 8, and that's 2 high. If they were 3 low, at a maximum they would be 2, 3, 4. Why am I talking about those 3? I'm talking about these 3. If these were 3 high, they would be 2 high. If they were 3 low, the maximum they could be is 2, 3, 4, which is only 9, and that would need to be 11. So this must be yellow as well. We know it's not 5 because 5's in one of those cells, and possibly 5 wouldn't work in the maths. Oh, it's this 11 cage is going to determine highness and lowness somehow, I think. I don't know how. Yeah, maybe I do know. Yes, I do. Right. If yellow was high, this digit would be a 9. That would be an 8-9 pair. And you'd have a 9 there, a 9 up here. You'd have to have a 9 here. But we cannot put a 9 in the 11 cage, because the other 2 digits will take the total to 12. Therefore, yellow is low. Let's make it blue. Let's make red orange. My normal colours for high and low. And let's fill in the digits now. That's a 1. This is a 1-2 pair touching a 7. This is a 9. The digits surrounding the 9 are 2 and 4. The digits surrounding the 1 are 6 and 8. We've got the 7. Now, that 2 or 4 connects to this, which has to be 8 or 9, and that connects back to the low digit, which can't be 2 or 4, and is 1 or 3. What's going on in this 20 cage now? We haven't cleared any dynamic fog, by the way, in all of this stuff. If those are minimum, we're up to 16, and this could then be a 4. In fact, this is low, and it's not 1 or 2, and it's not 3, which is in one of those cells, so it is a 4. So those are 11. These add up to 9. They are 8 and 1. That's the only way to do it. Surely I'm going to clear some fog in a second. Oh, still not. 2 connects to 8. It can't connect to 6 on the green line. And 8 connects to 2, not 4. Yay, finally, with the last digit I knew about, we clear some fog. Okay, that's good. Now, the remaining digits in box 5 are 6 and 9. This cage doesn't have a 4 in it, or a 9, or a 2. Don't really care about 9 and 8, but I'm on the verge of saying it must have 2 low digits. If it didn't have 2 digits from 1, 2, 3, 4, it would have to have at least a 5 and a 6, and that would bust it. So it does have 1 and 3 in it. which are the only two remaining low digits, and it also has a 7 in it, therefore, to make up the total to 11. This is a 5, 6, 8 cage. That becomes a 9. I will get to you new lines in a moment. That's a 6. This is 2, 5, 9, and this is 3, 4, 7. It's nice, the flow of this one. Right, well, we've got the same rules applying here, because the green line, well, actually, both of them, the green line runs through the whole cage. The central digit must be 1 or 9. I think that's what we learned in this row. It is. That was the lesson. And this one can't be a 9 because it sees a 9. So that's a 1 surrounded by a 6, 8 pair. Must be. And that's a 5. Oh, and that clears fog as well. This one has a 1 or a 9 in the center, but it's not so much a problem. However, we now know that this can't... Basically, these 15 cages with a green line through can only be made up in the two ways that we found in the central row. And this one can't be the 6, 1, 8 cage because the 6 and the 8 would clash. This must be the 4, 9, 2 cage. I don't think I've missed a trick there. That's not a 1. This is 3 or 7. Now, I've got to be very careful with this 15 cage. It doesn't have a green line in it. So I can't rely on these facts I keep learning. Okay, there's a 9 got to be in a 22 cage. If you add up the possible 3 digits that make 22, if you didn't have a 9, the most you could get to is 21. So there's a 9 in one of those cells. Now, this 15 cage is made up using the digits 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, which between them add up to 24. We have to take out 2 of those that sum to 9, and the only pair of those that sum to 9 is 6, 3. So we're left with 2, 5, 8. We can't put a 3 in the 22 cage because then the other 2 digits would add up to 19. That's not possible for 2 Sudoku digits. So we'll put the 3 there, make this 9, 6, and we can use our maths to put a 7 there and look at all the fog clearing everywhere else. Excellent. This is just the sort of puzzle I wanted to be doing. Perfect. Now, I haven't quite finished off the original greens. Right. What are we going to do over here? I can tell you the parity of this cell when I worked it out. Because these two... No, I can't. I was thinking of this as a Renban line. I'm talking absolute nonsense. Do try and ignore me when I do that. There's probably somewhere very easy or at least approachable to go to next. Oh, 1 and 2 are looking at this cell in a small 5 cage. So that's 3 or 4. That's 1 or 2. This is a 10 sum, but the green line says it's not 6, 4. Well, it couldn't have been anyway, but also that it's not 7, 3. So this is either 1, 9 or 2, 8. And that must have one of those very low digits, 1 or 2, and that has the other. So they can't appear again in the column. And what that is going to mean is that this green line has a slightly higher low digit. It's not a 1 or a 2, it's a 3 or a 4. And that must go with an 8 or a 9 by German whisper rules. And now we've had both 8 and 9 used in the row, in the column. We don't know where, but one of them's up there and the other's down here. So this becomes a 5. That's a 9. And we've had 1, 2 and 8, 9 used, and 6, 5. This digit is from 3, 4 or 7. I don't think I know whether it's low or high, but I immediately do when I look at this, because this is clearly on a green line heading through the fog. And if that was a 7, this digit would be low, but it would have to be specifically 1 or 2 to connect to a 7, and it specifically can't be. So that's not a 7. That's the 3 or 4. The other 3 or 4 is up here. Oh, that 3 says this corner can't be a 3. And this digit is the only place left for 7 in the column, isn't it? Yeah. Now, 3 or 4 there means another 8 or 9 here. And now we've got a quad of 3, 4, 8, 9 in the box. This is low, and therefore now 1 or 2, because 3 and 4 have been used up. And we've got a cage. Oh, we've got a cage up here that I haven't done the maths on either of these cages. This one has a total of 11 to 13 there. So this is 9, 8, or 7. This has a total between 9 and 11 here. So this is somewhere between 3 and 5. Well, we know exactly what it is because we've had 3 and 4 used up in this 3, 4, 8, 9 quad. That's a 5. These two add up to 9, and they are 8, 1. And because that's an 8 and this is a whisper, I think this digit has to be a 3. Now the low digit here is a 4. So it must be a 4, 9 pair. They add up to 13. That digit becomes a 7. We've got a 2 and a 6 left to place in the box. And we've got some Sudoku to do down this column. We've got 1, 2, 8 left. That's a 2, 8 pair. This is a 1 in the corner. That digit is a 4. That looks up here and does 3 and 4. These two are a 6, 9 pair. We've got a 9 in the grid there. And these are a 3, 5, 7 triple with the given 5 knocking out 1. Didn't quite clear the fog I was expecting, but there must be more Sudoku to do. 8 is looking at that. 6 then is looking at that, and then this 6 is looking at that. Still can't unwind the 4, 9. Ah, I've got a 2 X-wing. Is this the first time we've needed an X-wing in the puzzle? I think it is, but 2 appears in one of those 2 cells, and 2 appears in one of those 2. That's going to use up the 2s for rows 7 and 8. There's only 1 in each row. So those can't be 2s, and this is a 2. And I predict this will clear fog. Wrong. Oh well. Oh, 5 is looking at that cell. 8 is looking into the 10 cage. 2 is looking into the 15 cage. That still didn't clear fog. I'm quite surprised, but there must be more to do. So I mean, we've got an awful lot done. There can't be all that much Sudoku. I can place 5 over here. 1, 4, 5, 2. We need a 9 in the bottom row. That must be here. I think maybe we're not going to get any more big fog clearances. Maybe it's just going to be entering digits to finish the puzzle. That is 3 or 6 by virtue of elimination and Sudoku. Okay, this row, 1, 7, 6, 2, 5. We've got an 8 to place. That's definitely here. And 3 or 4 here, 3 or 9 here. In this box, we've got 1, 2, 4, 5. The 2 is over this side. The 1 is up the top. 4 and 5, a bit more of a mystery. Down in this box, 8, 5, 2, 9. 6 is either there or there. 7, 7 is an X-wing. Is that helpful? Probably not. There's a 7 there and a 7 here. That uses the 7s for rows 7 and 8. Then there's a 7 down here somewhere. No, that doesn't. There's also an 8 down here somewhere. So these are from 1, 3, 6. That digit is 1 or 3. And maybe I can eventually use this 11 cage looking upwards. Those don't have 5s in. 2, 5, 9 are looking up this column, and they all 8, 1, 6 also see this group of cells. So they must be 7, 3, 4. And I can put the 7 there and a 3, 4 pair that makes this a 9. And I can go back over the other side and put 4 and 9 in. That fixes 3 and 4. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a big fog clearance now. This is 2 or 5. This is 2 or 5. That's a pair in the column. 2, 5, 9, 4. One of these is a 1 by Sudoku because of that. Now that takes 1 out of this cell and fixes it in this box as there. This digit is 6 or 8 according to the column. 9, 6, 2, 8. Don't quite know where I meant to be finishing off now. 4, 5, 2, 9. I think this box is key. Oh, there's a 16 cage. Why don't I read the numbers? Forgot it entirely. Right. I'm finally going to use the secret, which I don't think I've mentioned yet. The sum of every row, column and box in a Sudoku. The sum of this box we know, because we always know the secret, and it's always 45. So 45 minus 16 and 15 and 5 leaves 9. So these two add up to 9. If that is 6 or 8, this is 1 or 3. And now that just gives me a 1-3 pair, and that's going to be huge. So that's a 7, 3 and 7 there. This is 6 or 8, and now I can add up. No, I can't. I don't know how those work yet. Oh, I thought this was going to finish everything off. I'm sure it will. That's a 3 in the bottom row, and that's going to do my pairs in columns 4 and 6, perhaps. 5 comes out of those cells. I'm left with a chocolate teapot quadruple up there. This box, 4, 6, 1 and 7 to go. Obviously the 6 is over this side, the 4 is on the bottom. Is there one more German whisper connection that I've missed, or a cage that's just staring at me and I can't see it? These are going to add up to 9. Oh, there's one thing left to unwind somewhere. 8, 5, 2, 3, 9, 6, 4, 1 appears somewhere down here. It feels like at the moment this has 2 solutions, and I'm sure that's not right, but I don't quite know why it's not. If that's a 6, that's a 3. Then we've got 7, 7. Oh, I mean, goodness me, there must be something very, very doable here. Is it blindingly obvious? Is it? It's not a cage. The cages are all full. I've got that pair left to add up to 9. It's not a green line. We've populated them entirely. Let's get rid of the colouring. So it must be Sudoku. Right, I'm going to get rid of the corner marks and fully candidate mark these cells. 4 is in one of those, 6 is in one of those, 7 is in one of those, but 1 could be anywhere. Now, am I making a mistake about that somehow? One, 3, 3, 7. Be to do with this, but how do I know which way round this goes? If this was 6, 3. Okay, now I'm going to ask, because uniqueness is telling me that that can't be a 4, because these would be a problem. I'm going to say, what happens if this is... No, uniqueness is telling me that there must be a 4, breaking up the 1, 3s and 7s and those. So that must be a 4. So this can't really be a 4. What would happen if I put 4 in there? I would get 4 here, 2, 1, 5. That would be 6. What's the problem? 4, 6. Wow, what am I missing here? There must be... I mean, it really looks to me as though there are 2 ways for this to finish at this point. there was one more digit I could put in somewhere, it might clear dynamic fog, but that seems remarkably unlikely. This 3-1 pair is going to resolve this 6-8 deadly pattern. That's the only thing this has got left to do. It's also going to resolve, well, if that's a 1, it's less resolved. If that's a 3, it resolves these. Oh, I've got that 6. Why can't I see that? I mean, now, honestly, how many minutes do I need to be staring at this to see that that is a 6 and it's on a green line? There we go. Oh, goodness me. I could have put that in ages ago. And if I hadn't got the green line, I think I would have got the problem. But it's really straightforward. And it's funny, I was absolutely convinced that there was no way. And that's because I'm a bit of a numpty sometimes. Right, 4 there is looking at this cell. And it does finish very smoothly. Very nice puzzle. And there we go. I hope you gave that a go. Nice and approachable, foggy, green, whispery puzzle. And good fun. And also worth learning this lesson again about 492 and 816 if you have a green line running through a 15 cage. Thank you for watching. As always, pleasure to bring you these puzzles, and I hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.